Hello, everyone. Today I want to show you a simple routine that can help you improve your English speaking without spending hours studying. Imagine having only 30 minutes a day and knowing exactly what to do with those 30 minutes. No complicated schedule, no expensive course, no perfect English teacher. Just you, your phone, and 30 focused minutes. Now, let me make something very clear. You will not become fluent overnight, just because you practice for 30 minutes. That's not how language learning works. But if you practice correctly and you stay consistent, those 30 minutes can become a powerful part of your English journey. Because the biggest problem for many English learners is not that they don't know English. They already know many words. They understand simple sentences. They watch English videos. They may even understand a lot of English when someone speaks. But then, when it's their turn to speak, everything suddenly feels difficult. They know what they want to say, but they can't find the words quickly. They think in their first language, then translate into English, then worry about grammar, then become nervous. And finally, they stop speaking. If you've ever experienced this, you're not alone. And this is exactly why today's routine is different. We're not going to spend 30 minutes only reading English. We're not going to spend 30 minutes memorizing random vocabulary. And we're not going to spend 30 minutes studying complicated grammar rules. Instead, we're going to use English. We're going to listen. We're going to speak. We're going to think. And we're going to practice using English in a more natural way. So, let's break your 30 minutes down into simple sections. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you can do every day to make your English speaking stronger. Before we begin, subscribe Speak Bold English channel and like this videos. Let's begin. First 5 minutes. Make listening your first habit. The first 5 minutes are all about listening, and this part is important. Because before you can speak English naturally, your ears need to become comfortable with English. Think about how children learn a language. They listen again and again before they can speak confidently. You can use the same idea as an English learner. You don't need to understand every single word. You don't need to stop the video after every sentence, and you definitely don't need to translate everything immediately. Instead, choose simple English content. It could be a short conversation, a beginner-friendly English video, a simple podcast, or an English story that you can mostly understand. The important thing is, don't choose something that's far too difficult. If you listen to something and understand almost nothing, you may become frustrated. So choose content that challenges you a little, but still allows you to understand the main idea. For example, imagine you're listening to a short conversation about someone's daily routine. You hear them talking about getting ready in the morning, going to work, meeting a friend, and coming home later. You don't need to memorize every sentence. Instead, ask yourself simple questions. What are they talking about? Where are they going? What are they doing? How does the person feel? If you understand the general meaning, that's already useful practice. Now listen to the same conversation one more time, but this time, pay attention to the way the speaker actually sounds. Notice the rhythm. Notice the pauses. Notice how some words sound connected. This is important because spoken English doesn't always sound like the English you see in a textbook. Real speakers connect words, change their speed, and use natural expressions. So your ears need to learn what real spoken English sounds like. And don't worry, if you don't understand everything on your first try, that's normal. Your brain is getting used to the language. The more English you hear, the easier it becomes to recognize familiar words and understand common expressions. So remember your first rule: listen every day. Even 5 minutes can become valuable if you do it consistently. Next 5 minutes, listen and speak. Now, you've spent 5 minutes listening. It's time to use your voice. This is where many English learners make a mistake. They listen, but they don't speak. They watch English videos, but they don't repeat anything. They understand the lesson, but they never practice producing English. So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to change that. Choose a few sentences from the English content you just listened to. Listen to one sentence. Then say it yourself. Listen. Speak. Listen. Speak. This technique can help you practice pronunciation, rhythm, and speaking confidence. Don't try to sound perfect. Instead, try to sound natural. Listen to how the speaker says the sentence, then copy the rhythm as closely as you can. For example, if you hear a simple sentence about someone's daily routine, don't just repeat the words. Listen to the complete sound. Notice which words the speaker emphasizes. Notice where the voice goes up and where it comes down. Then try it yourself. You might feel strange in the beginning. That's okay. You're training your mouth to become comfortable with English sounds. And remember, you can do this alone. You don't need an English-speaking partner. You don't need a classroom. You can practice in your room, while walking, while sitting at your desk, or even while getting ready for your day. The important thing is, speak out loud. Don't only practice inside your head. Your goal is to make English a language you actually use. And that's the difference between knowing English and becoming comfortable speaking English. So, for the first 10 minutes, your routine is simple. 5 minutes. Listen. 5 minutes. Listen and speak. And now, we're ready for the most important part. Your own English. Because in the next section, we're going to stop copying other people and start talking about your own life. That's where your real speaking practice begins. Now, we're going to move into the most important part of your routine, because now you're going to stop simply repeating English and start creating your own English. Next 10 minutes, talk about your real life. For the next 10 minutes, I want you to talk about your own life, not a textbook character, not a complicated topic. You. This is important, because when you're talking about your own life, you already know what you want to say. You don't have to invent ideas. You simply need to find the English words to express them. Let's start with something simple. Talk about your day. What did you do today? What are you doing right now? What are you planning to do later? Start with simple sentences. For example, today has been quite busy. I have a few things to finish. I'm taking some time to practice English. Later, I want to relax for a while. These sentences are simple, but that's exactly what we want. You don't need complicated English. To become a better speaker, you need useful English that you can actually use. Now, talk about your morning. What time did you wake up? What did you do first? Did you have breakfast? Did you go somewhere? Did you talk to anyone? Try speaking for 1 minute. Don't worry about mistakes. If you forget a word, don't immediately switch to your first language. Try explaining the idea in a different way. For example, if you don't remember the word, you can describe what it does or what it looks like. This teaches your brain to keep communicating even when you don't know the perfect word. And that is a very important speaking skill, because real conversations don't stop every time you forget a word. You find another way to explain it. Now let's change the topic. Talk about your plans. What do you want to do? Tomorrow? What do you need to finish? This week? What would you like to learn? Where would you like to go? Again, keep your sentences simple. I want to finish my work tomorrow. I need to organize a few things. I'd like to learn something new. I want to spend some time with my family. You can change these sentences to match your own life. The goal isn't to copy them forever. The goal is to use them as a starting point and then create your own sentences. Now, let's make this practice a little more interesting. Choose something you like. Maybe travel, movies, food, technology, sports, books, music, or learning English. Choose one topic and talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. You don't need to prepare a perfect speech. Just start talking. If you choose travel, you could talk about a place you want to visit, why you want to go there, what you would like to see, and what you would like to do. If you choose food, talk about your favorite meal, when you usually eat it, and why you like it. Simple ideas can create a lot of speaking practice. And here's something I really want you to remember. That don't stop speaking because you made a mistake. Mistakes are part of practice. If you say something incorrectly, keep going. You can correct it later. Right now, your job is to communicate. The more you speak, the more comfortable your brain becomes with creating English sentences. Next 5 minutes. Start thinking in English. Now, you've been speaking and creating your own sentences. For the next 5 minutes, we're going to work on something that can make speaking feel much more natural. Thinking in English. Many learners do this. They think in their first language, then translate every sentence into English. This takes time. And during a real conversation, you don't have time to translate every single thought. So we need to slowly train your brain to think directly in English. And don't start with complicated thoughts. Start with simple things. Look around you. What can you see? Maybe there's a phone on the table. You can think, my phone is on the table. Maybe there's a window. You can think, the window is open. Maybe you're sitting on a chair. I'm sitting on a chair. These sentences are very simple, but they are useful because you're connecting the real world directly with English. You don't have to translate. You see something and create an English sentence. Now, try describing what you're doing. I'm sitting here. I'm practicing English. I'm listening to a lesson. I'm speaking out loud. I'm taking my time. Again, simple English is perfectly fine. In fact, simple English is where strong English begins. Now take this practice outside your room. If you're walking, describe what you see. The street is busy. People are walking. A car is passing by. The weather is warm. Someone is waiting outside. You don't have to say these sentences out loud. If you're around other people, you can simply think them. This turns normal daily activities into English practice. And suddenly, you don't need to find an extra hour for English. Your normal life becomes part of your practice. The final 5 minutes. Free speaking challenge. Now, we've reached the final 5 minutes. This is where I want you to challenge yourself. Put everything together. Choose one topic and speak freely. No reading, no repeating, no translation. Just speak. For example, talk about your day. Start with, today I... Then continue. Explain what happened. Talk about how you felt. Talk about what you're going to do next. If you make a mistake, keep going. If you forget a word, explain it differently. If you need a few seconds, take a breath and continue. Your goal is not perfect English. Your goal is to keep speaking. Now, try another challenge. Imagine you're talking to a new person. They ask you, tell me a little about yourself. How would you answer? You could talk about where you live, what you do, what you enjoy, what you're learning, and what you want to achieve. Try speaking. For 2 minutes, don't write your answer first. Speak naturally. This is how you train yourself for real conversations. After speaking, use your final minutes to review. Ask yourself, what was easy? What was difficult? Which words did I forget? Where did I pause too much? Which sentence could I have said better? Write down 2 or 3 things. Tomorrow, you can practice them again. And this is where your 30-minute routine becomes personal. You're not simply following someone else's study plan. You're discovering what you need to improve. And that's much more powerful because your English journey is your own journey. You don't need to speak exactly like another learner. You need to become more confident than you were yesterday. And now, we've covered almost your complete 30-minute routine. But there's one final thing we need to talk about because knowing this routine is useful, but following it consistently is what creates results. And that's exactly what we'll talk about You've made it to the final part. By now, you know exactly what to do during your 30-minute English routine. But there's something even more important than knowing the routine, and that is actually following it. Because you can have the best English routine in the world, but if you only practice once every 2 weeks, your progress will be slow. You don't need a perfect day. You need a consistent habit. So let's talk about how you can make these 30 minutes a normal part of your life. Make your 30 minutes a daily habit. The easiest way to stay consistent is to choose a specific time. Maybe right after you wake up. Maybe after breakfast. Maybe in the evening when you've finished your work. Or maybe before you go to sleep. The exact time doesn't matter as much as consistency. Choose a time that works for your life. Then try to protect those 30 minutes. Think of them as your daily English time. You don't have to wait until you feel motivated. Some days, you will feel excited. Other days, you won't feel like practicing. That's completely normal. Don't depend on motivation. Depend on your routine. Because when something becomes part of your daily schedule, you don't have to think, should I practice today? You simply practice. Just like brushing your teeth or checking your phone, English practice can become a normal part of your day. Don't try to do everything perfectly. Here's another important lesson. Don't turn your English routine into another source of stress. Maybe one day you plan to practice for 30 minutes, but something unexpected happened. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you have work, or school, or family responsibilities. Don't say, I missed my 30 minutes, so I'll stop practicing. Instead, do what you can. If you only have 10 minutes, use 10 minutes. Listen for 5 minutes, and speak for 5 minutes. If you have 15 minutes, practice for 15. The goal is not to complete a perfect schedule every day. The goal is to keep moving forward. Small practice is still practice, and consistency is more powerful than occasional long study sessions. What to do when you feel stuck? There will be days when you feel like you're not improving. You'll practice English and think, I'm still making mistakes. I still forget words. I still can't speak quickly. Don't let that feeling make you quit. Language learning is not a straight line. Some days, you'll feel confident. Other days, you'll feel like you've forgotten everything. That doesn't mean you've stopped improving. Sometimes, your progress is happening before you can notice it. Think about listening. At first, a fast English conversation may sound like one long sound. After some time, you begin recognizing individual words. Then, you start understanding complete sentences. Then, you start predicting what someone is going to say. This happens gradually. The same thing happens with speaking. At first, you may need time to create a sentence. Later, that same sentence may come naturally. So don't judge your progress every single day. Give yourself time. Use the 30-minute routine differently. And here's another idea. Don't practice the exact same way every single day. Keep the structure, but change the content. For example, on Monday, practice a conversation about daily life. On Tuesday, talk about your work or studies. On Wednesday, practice describing your surroundings. On Thursday, talk about your plans. On Friday, choose a topic you enjoy. On the weekend, do a longer speaking challenge. The routine stays the same, but the content changes. This keeps your practice interesting and helps you learn different kinds of English because real conversations can be about anything. You might talk about your morning, your plans, a movie, a trip, a problem, a new idea, a person you met, or something. That happened yesterday, so give your brain different situations to practice with. Don't only consume English. There's one mistake I really want you to avoid: only consuming English, watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading posts, and never speaking. That's passive practice. It's useful, but it isn't enough. You also need active practice. Listen, then speak. Read, then explain. Watch, then summarize. Learn a word, then use it. This small change can make your practice much more active. For example, after watching a short English video, close the video. Then ask yourself, what was this video about? Now explain it in your own English. You may not remember every detail. That's okay. Just explain what you understood. This forces your brain to create English instead of simply recognizing it. And that's exactly what we want. Record yourself once in a while. Here's another powerful habit. Record yourself speaking. You don't need a professional microphone. Your phone is enough. Choose a simple topic and speak for 2 minutes. Then listen to yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Just observe. Did you speak too quietly? Did you repeat the same word many times? Did you stop often? Were some sentences difficult? Did you notice any pronunciation problems? Write down 1 or 2 things you want to improve. Then try again. A few days later, you may be surprised by the difference. Sometimes you don't notice your progress until you listen to your older recordings. That's why recording yourself can be so useful. It gives you a real picture of your speaking journey, your 30-minute routine in one simple plan. So let's review everything we've discussed. Your 30 minutes can look like this. First 5 minutes, listen to simple English. Focus on understanding and natural pronunciation. Next 5 minutes, listen and repeat. Practice the speaker's rhythm and say the sentences aloud. Next 10 minutes, talk about your own life, your day, your plans, your experiences, your opinions. Speak without worrying about perfection. Next 5 minutes, think in English. Describe your surroundings, your actions, and your plans. Final 5 minutes, do a free speaking challenge. Then quickly review what was difficult and what you want to practice next time. That's it. 30 minutes. Simple, practical, and repeatable. But remember this, 30 minutes is not magic. The number itself isn't what creates fluency. What matters is what you do during those 30 minutes. 30 minutes of passive watching is different from 30 minutes of active practice. So don't just count the minutes. Make the minutes count. Listen carefully. Speak out loud. Create your own sentences. Think in English. Review your mistakes and come back tomorrow and do it again. That's where real progress begins. Give yourself 30 days. Now, I want you to try something. Don't think about learning English forever. Don't think about how long fluency will take. Just give yourself 30 days. For the next 30 days, try to practice English for around 30 focused minutes. Every day, keep a simple record. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3. Keep going. Some days, your practice will feel amazing. Some days, it may feel difficult. Some days, you may make many mistakes. And some days, you may feel like you're not improving at all. Keep going anyway. Because after 30 days, you may notice something. Maybe you're less nervous when speaking. Maybe you understand more English. Maybe you can speak for longer. Maybe you're finding words a little faster. Those small changes are important. They show you that your practice is working. Final speaking challenge. Before we finish, let's do one final challenge. I want you to speak for 2 minutes. And your topic is, why do you want to improve your English? Think about your reason. Maybe you want better communication. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to understand English videos. Maybe you simply want to feel more confident. Whatever your reason is, talk about it. Start with, I want to improve my English because, then continue. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't stop to translate every sentence. Just speak. Pause. Now, try it again. But this time, speak a little more confidently. You don't need perfect English. You simply need to keep speaking Pause. Excellent. That was your final challenge. Final message. So, can you improve your English with just 30 minutes a day? Yes. If those 30 minutes are focused, active, and consistent, you don't need to study English for 5 hours every day. You don't need to memorize hundreds of words at once. And you don't need to wait until your English is perfect. Before you start speaking, start with what you have: your phone, your voice, your time, and 30 focused minutes. Listen, speak, think, practice, review, and repeat. Don't expect huge changes. After one day, give yourself time, give yourself patience, and most importantly, don't give up just because progress feels slow. Remember, confidence doesn't come before practice. Confidence comes from practice. Every sentence you speak is practice. Every mistake you correct is progress. Every day you show up is another step forward. So, don't say, "I'll start tomorrow." Start today. Even if you only have a few minutes right now, start. Keep learning. Keep speaking. Keep improving. And one day, you'll realize that the English, a normal part of your life. If this lesson helped you, give this video a like. Share it with someone who is learning English. And subscribe to Speak Bold English. Thank you so much for practicing with me.